this afternoon. Gonna get that view. I don't know if I can see it. I can't see shit because the sun is freaking crazy out here, but hopefully you can see it back there. Yeah, going on a little more. What are you doing, brother? Digging. This is the Mesa area, New Mexico. This is where we go on our little walkways. And there's a walkway right here, a little pathway. You can take your dogs and all that kind of stuff. So, getting some endorphins, getting some burning calories, all that kind of stuff in. So I hope you all liked that little video, chill video in the beginning of that morning walk or like early afternoon walk that we did today. But for right now, we are here to talk about, we already did Batman himself. We talked about all the Batman live action actors. And in this video, we're going to be ranking the Joker actors, of course, because you can't have Batman without Joker. You know what I mean? That's like having, vodka without orange juice or something. Like, I don't know. It's just, or peanut butter without jelly. Like, that's just a marriage type thing. So today we're going to stop and rank all the live action actors that have played Joker so far. We are not including the voice actors, although Mark Hamill is amazing. His work on the 90s TV show was unprecedented, but we are going to talk about, like I said, all the live action actors, and this is just my list, my personal opinion, so that means I would love to hear from all of you in the comments section. Share your list of your favorite Joker actors. So we have 5 live action Joker actors on this list, and let's kick this off right away. The bottom of the barrel, but the bottom of the barrel for me, I don't really actually hate any of the actors' performances that have done the Joker, to be honest. Like, the bottom one to me isn't like the bottom. Like, George Clooney was more of the bottom for that Batman ranking. Like, I kind of really disliked his portrayal, but here we are, number 5. It's going to be Jared Leto, and I still think for what Jared Leto got to do, he was still a decent Joker. I just wish he got a lot more to do, because like you said, with being a part of the David Ayer Suicide Cut, like that version, like it kind of sucks because he didn't really get to relive like his actual version. You know what I mean? David Ayer, they kind of took that away from him. So Jared Leto, a lot of his scenes were left on the cutting room floor and all that kind of stuff. But I think, to be honest, the kind of gangster, more like thuggish, tattooed up Joker, like what he was going for was a certain style of Joker that has been done in the comics before, and I think he was doing pretty good. Like I said, I just wish the reason he's at the bottom is because he doesn't have enough to do. He's only in this one movie, and he's not even like the main threat in this movie or anything like that, so that's why he sits here at this number 5 spot. Number 4 for me is going to be Cesar Romero, and this is the man who played Joker on the TV show back in the day. He was also in the 1966 Batman movie, from back in the day with Adam West. And Cesar Romero really did lay the foundation for how Joker was going to be portrayed and played from there on. Like, he was, like, of course, the most iconic first one to ever really do it. And like I said, he's just that perfect marriage of him and Batman and being rivals and stuff like that. Because I always felt that way of, Batman doesn't want to kill Joker and Joker doesn't want to kill Batman. Like, it doesn't really ever seem that way. It kind of seems like they're married together and they have to have each other in their lives. You know what I mean? It's like that balance type thing. And like I said, he's above Jared Leto because he had so much more, iconic TV show episodes, had that 66 movie, like had just such a longer stint as Joker and has more opportunities for you to judge him and, view his character and all that kind of stuff. So that's why he sits here at this number 4 spot. Now we're here at the top 3. And before we get down to that, consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. And all these top 3 people, you can argue all being number 1. To be honest, if somebody came to me and brought to me their ranking and had any one of these number 3 or up guys in that number 1 spot, I really wouldn't have much to say about it. But my number 3 is going to be Jack Nicholson. And oh man, to be like Jack Nicholson, he was like an older actor, but I still think he did a really good job. When he took on the role, he was probably in his late 40s, like early 50s, I think, when he took on the Joker role. But he really did kind of make it a more serious role. He did have some elements of like Cesar Romero's Joker, that campiness, a lot of silliness, but it was much more serious, and his threat that he brought to the city in the 89 Batman film was much more prominent, much more huge than a lot of the stuff that, some of the other Jokers do in the other films. And like I said, he's just such an entertaining actor, you know what I mean? Jack Nicholson, he has charisma in just about everything he does, for real. And he's got such a like creative face, the way he does his face and his smiles and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool. Like I said, this one, it might not be the most top Batman film, but Jack Nicholson is probably like mainly the key character in this movie, because it's mostly about his rise and becoming Joker and how he takes over the crime world and stuff, and comes up with the plan to poison the city and stuff. It's a lot more focused on him than it is Batman, to be honest. So Jack Nicholson does get a lot of limelight in his film, and like I said, he's so talented, and I can't really argue anyone who would have him at the number one spot. My number two, the runner up to the top dog, is going to be. This was hard. This was a really hard one for me because I really do love both these performances, but I'm going to put Joaquin Phoenix at number two. Joaquin Phoenix came so close. If you know who's left on the list, so you know who's number one. He came so close for real to that number one spot, but Joaquin Phoenix, he did do such a good job. That Joker solo film really did set the precedent for being able to experience and have other kind of comic book movies, okay? And that's what's amazing is Todd Phillips, what him and Joaquin Phoenix were able to do with the Joker character in that film and the story. It's so amazing because DC does have more three-dimensional and more, I think, deeper characters, in my opinion, than Marvel. And that's the world. If you want to experiment with more three-dimensional characters, more serious toned type stuff, you're really going to have to do it with the DC world. And I think Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix, what they did with the Joker character in this movie was fabulous. Like, it was such a good in-depth character study, and Joaquin Phoenix knocked it out of the park. Really did like submerse himself into this role, and you can tell he loves and cares about this character and really wanted to do the best he could and bring to life that on the screen. And when you go see this movie, like when I saw it in theaters, it was a blast. It was scored beautifully, it was shot beautifully, acted so amazingly, like, oh, everything about this film. So that's another notch of what elevates him too, is like when the film is better, or what the content is in that you're playing your character in is better, that's going to lift you a little bit higher up on the list, like I said. So because that's why Joaquin Phoenix is beating out these other people at the other part of the list. So let's get on to number one, the top dog. Of course, if he's number two, number one's going to be Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. We all miss you, Heath Ledger. And what he did for the Joker, what he did to that character and portrayed on screen in The Dark Knight, it is utter perfection. Like I said, the only person for me that ever came close was Joaquin Phoenix, and he did come really close. You can argue both. Like I said, anyone who came to me with that guy at number one, Joaquin, I wouldn't argue it that much. But Heath Ledger, for me, it's because he just is the most unpredictable but most meticulous Joker at the same time. But you can just see the craziness in him, and like the way he portrayed it on screen. He really did chew up the scenery and take over that movie. You know what I mean? Like, I love Batman to death. Batman is my favorite comic superhero, but The Dark Knight, that was always one major gripe I kind of had with the movie, was that Joker just takes over that movie. Heath Ledger, that is his movie. It shouldn't, like, it's called The Dark Knight, but it should be like the Joker film part one, like, kind of thing, because that's how important and how amazing of a character he is and stuff like that. Even that intro scene, like, oh man. And I really wish that he got to live on and do more stuff after his career, because he was such an amazing actor, and we miss him so much. But yeah, the Joker character was very influential for just making Batman and making it a more serious thing. Like the Dark Knight trilogy, like Heath Ledger really did help in that aspect of making Batman more grounded, making the audience members being able to understand and respect more mature content when it comes to comic book material. They kind of tried this in the early 80s, mid 80s before, with trying like some like Darkman, Batman, the Phantom. Like they tried doing these comics, like, but none of them really took off besides Batman. And like I said, because of what Joaquin Phoenix did, because of what Heath Ledger did, these people as the Joker character, we as audience members and the general public are more accepting of more serious, mature comic content, and that's what I love. So thanks for sticking around with me all for this ranking of the Joker actors. I hope you all had fun. Definitely, like I said, let me know in the comment section what is your ranking of the Joker actors that we have. And have a safe and happy day. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing on the channel. Peace out.